think it's an excellent event, and it's an annual one. 800 children over the course of 2 days competing in the round robin cups, obviously. But I think more than about the football, obviously it's about the community spirit and the amount of volunteers who are involved in organising and making today happen. It gives young people the opportunity to engage in positive community activity, to build their physical fitness, and of course it contributes to their emotional health and well-being as well. So it's a fantastic event for the city.
Years ago this pitch wouldn't have been used, and it was a very much underused facility, and you look about it today, you see the amount of matches on. They said over 1,000 people will be using this pitch this weekend, and that's done because Rosario's put this out to the community. And this isn't just Rosario teams, you can see there's so many other teams involved, and this is all fun because it's managed by Rosario.
The Rosario tournament's very well organised. I've never been to a better tournament than this here one. It's a well organised tournament. The facilities is top of range. Can't fault them. That's it. Everything went according to plan. We got the weather. That's it. But I would love to come back Shankill Juniors next year.
Yeah, this is a third year at this tournament. It's a brilliant wee tournament. It's probably the best that we've been invited to. So the kids get a lot out of it, and it's a very great, enjoyable day. Yeah.
Probably our 5th year here, and it's just a fantastic tournament. I think it's actually a premier tournament in Belfast anyway for lots of boys, and it's great to see cross community teams coming from across the community, and kids love it too, and they treat us really well, which is good too.
I like meeting new people and seeing how you can play football and different angles of how you play football and learn different skills. It's good to play boys and not girls because boys are stronger, and it gives us better confidence to play. I just really like getting up early to play football.
I like this tournament because you get to play loads of matches, and it's just really good. I like this tournament because even if you lose all your matches, you still get a medal.
I suppose in the games development centres that we currently play in on Saturday mornings, it's not necessarily, there's not much competition as such. It's not a competitive game. We don't count scores. There's no league sort of section, and it's good for the kids to experience it as they grow older. But if you win matches, you're going to win trophies, and the kids, that really gets the kids up for it, really. So it's definitely it's an advantage for the kids and an advantage for us too. See smiles on their faces.
Like most sports, and particularly football, the organisation of it depends totally on volunteers. People who get nothing out of it other than the satisfaction. And when you come here this morning at 9 o'clock for the start of this tournament with 20 teams, there are 50 or 60 volunteers here doing all sorts of things, from starting at the gate, looking after people getting in, and then you have referees who are doing this voluntarily, you have coaches who are doing it voluntary, and you have people serving the food and tea, all voluntary and all part of the game, and they are equally important, or just as important as the players in many respects.
Well, one of the things we'd be looking at is some support to do some of this event. As I say, we can do it volunteering, but just the cost of medals, the cost of kits, equipment and everything adds up, and just the admin time alone is huge in managing this tournament, because again, this is on top of everything else. So the season's only just finished last week, and then we're putting on a tournament and then starting registration. So in terms of putting it on more, if we could guarantee the pitch, so if we had a 3G pitch, we could definitely put it on. I mean, we have concerns if the weather turns tomorrow, it's going to get very mucky. So if we could guarantee the surface, we could potentially put on more tournaments like this. Even just you have the girls football playing there. There's 2 or 3 teams there, and the league's going to start in May. We have to take the pitches down, so we can't take girls teams here. And if we could have that, we could expand the girls teams from about 30 players to about 100 players within a season.
I would love to see a 3G pitch because we don't get to play during the winter, so if we could come and play during the winter instead of just waiting for the summer. So yeah.
Yeah, because
really
of like the frost and the rain and everything, it kind of makes the pitch waterlogged, and then it's just full of like water and mud, and we just can't play in it. So it's much better to have. It would be much better to have a 3G pitch, because then we could just play all year round.
It's interesting that probably in Western Europe, Northern Ireland per head of population has more synthetic pitches than any other country, and I think that's going to continue. And young people now at school use synthetic pitches, and it's becoming the norm. In fact, these kids here today will probably, and when they're adults and 15 years' time playing adult football, I expect to play on synthetic pitches, because that's what they've grown up with, whereas the rest of us who are older think it has to remain grass forever, because that's what we're conditioned to. So I do think that synthetic pitches will be a major factor in Northern Ireland. And with our weather, of course, it ensures you can play at any time of the day, every day, whether it's rain, hail or snow almost.
Just even having teams training one time a week, facilities can cost us 20 grand a year. And again, for a team that's all volunteers and stuff, that's a huge cost. So if we could get a 3G pitch, it would allow us to allow our teams to train more, play more and be more competitive and allow more teams and more people to play football. So what we have at the minute, we have 2 changing rooms, and as you can see today we have 3 women's teams, but we have just 1 women's toilet at the minute, and we're really using the disabled toilet as a women's toilet. So what we love is when we can get more people in to facilitate tournaments like this, have proper women's changing facilities, so this is more open to the community. And it'd be great, we have more people there and we've one toilet. We can all accommodate it, but I just think for a tournament of this size, and even just for regular use, to encourage women and encourage other people to use it, having separate changing facilities would be brilliant for them.
They're certainly getting the ethos of competitive football, tournaments and wanting to win, but at the same time you're getting the friendliness of it, the lining up and shaking hands after the match and stuff. So it's certainly a great route to obviously international football in the future.
Decision-making skills, communication skills, analytical skills, planning skills, organisational skills, it's kind of right across the board, and that kind of, Belfast is a changing city, it's more cosmopolitan, we have all of our new communities, and this is an example of kind of, all of the communities in Belfast working together. Young people will be the lead in that, no doubt, as the generations move on and we move beyond the conflict. So I think it's a fantastic advertisement for Rosario, but I also think it's a fantastic advertisement for Belfast communities.
If kids are to learn, this is where they're going to learn. They have to see that everybody from all backgrounds are just the same as them, and it's a good way for people who maybe don't get out of their own areas to meet other ethnic backgrounds and religious backgrounds, certainly, yes.
I think it's good to meet other kids because we can do, it's like communities coming together and to make it, to help us with our physical journey.
I would be really disappointed if these tournaments stopped happening because I love playing with new people and love seeing different teams and how they work together. And like today, a girls' team, they were working really well together, and we're going to take that into account and work better as a team and stronger. So yeah.
Yeah, kind of like what she said, we can learn from other teams how they work together and learn from other teams how strong they are and how they play football, so then we can take tips from them as well.
I think this is the best mini soccer I've ever went to. It's the biggest and it's very well organised.
Everybody just wants to play football, enjoy football and pass that on, and you'll see that today there's loads of smiles and everybody gets a medal. You train, you want to play football, you want to represent your club, you want to compete, and this is what it's about, allowing people to compete, come together and have fun.
Thank you to Rosario for inviting us to play here.
Thank you for giving up the time to let us play football.
We like to thank Rosario for letting us play here.